First BO3 done and dusted, but 3 more to go today. We head to a Danish derby between Copenhagen Flames and Astralis Talent to see our next team head to the quarterfinals. Of course, this is CCT North Europe Series 4. Winner of this game will play the winner of Honoris versus Sinners. So the back-to-back games you're about to see is to determine our third quarterfinal matchup. I'm Retro, joined by Grim and Ronaldo, taking you through the action here today. Fred, first and foremost, I should say, after the first game, I think expecting quite a lot of the same, where I think Copenhagen Flames expected to kind of roll over Astralis Talent, but there's definitely a chance and a world in which the Talent team can actually pick up a map or start to make things look a little more competitive.
Agreed. I think this is, honestly, before we even get anywhere, I think even more than Nexus, fair play to them for making it through to this stage. They went 3-0 in the main Swiss. Actually, every single team they beat have made it through to playoffs. They destroyed Sangal. I don't know if you saw, they beat them 16-3 on Overpass on Sangal's map pick, and then they beat Voivoda and Nexus all 2-0. So they had an absolute unbelievable time so far. They played really, really well, and they've definitely turned a lot of heads. A lot of it was, but Altex had and Patty both had a 1.30 plus rating so far in this tournament. They've done really well to get here, and this is a team that are still performing in like close qualifiers. It's a team that is still playing at like fundamentally a lower level. They literally got to this stage through the close qualifier. The only time they've struggled so far in this tournament was in the first round of the close qualifier when they lost the map to Gen 1. So since then, they have beaten 2 Danish teams and have really come quite far. Now they'll be looking to dominate a 3rd Danish team. And to be honest, if there was ever a time to beat Copenhagen Flames, this might genuinely be it, because they are under a little bit of a reshuffle in the roster.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's run through the teams real quick, right? We can start with Copenhagen Flames maybe and have a chat about them. It is, of course, Farley, the new step in, right? Obviously, he's wearing the 9 jersey there. That's a bit interesting. That's
Kyler?
definitely not Farley. But it is obviously a bird from Sky Copenhagen Flames. Obviously, we've got a few competitive pieces on this team. We're looking at, as I said, bird from Sky, obviously coming from Ecstatic. You got Rules from Sprout, TMB Borup from sort of like the Mad Lions days. Obviously, Farley is repping the Astralis jersey previously, so there's a little bit of extra sort of the extra fire in this derby for him specifically. Obviously it's the usual faces. I don't think there's much else we can get into other than that Farley change, which we'll talk about through the series. We can obviously look at to the Astralis Talent side as well, and well, there you go, right? You can see there's bleed between some people being in blue, some people being in red, some people not having profile pictures, but point being, Astralis Talent have had some of these players called up to the main roster, more specifically Mister than anyone else, right? I think he had a little bit of time in the main spot as well.
Yeah.
There's definitely some experience that's been earned here, but the issue is for these guys is that, again, we're sort of like plateauing out. Like, we are earning some spaces here in playoffs. Like, we're doing a pretty good job, but consistency is the one thing that comes back to bite them. And today we're needing to see nothing short of the most consistent, the most well-oiled Astralis Talent machine if they have a chance of beating this Copenhagen Flame side today.
Yeah, I was just getting water there before we started, and in my head I was like, is this just an Astralis waiting room matchup right now? Is like both these teams just players waiting to go to the likes of Astralis? Because we've seen Farley, we've seen Mister. It's like, who's kind of the next one? And I'm really intrigued to see how, for instance, Christu, the AWPer of Astralis Talent, I've seen him play quite a bit, and I think I've seen him with mixed results. Right now, like on just the pure base of it, Farley dominates him in statistics and experience, but we're going to go take a look at the maps, and a very interesting one as well, because obviously I was talking about that massive overpass win Astralis got against Sangal. Well, Copenhagen Flames are really good on overpass, so seeing that as a decider right now, I'm really interested to see if we get that, because if we do get that, I feel like it's going to be an absolute bloodbath. But Ancient and Inferno, it's kind of the 2 main picks for these 2 rosters. Copenhagen Flames, they had loads of success at the end of last year, and like in every single map, it wasn't just Ancient, it wasn't just Overpass, literally just dominating everyone in loads of different tournaments. They won like 4 tournaments back to back, and now in this year they've only just firstly made their finals recently, and in that finals they got swept 2-0. But Ancient was a core part of that success at the end of last year, and now they'll be looking to pick it back up, and similar to Inferno, but they have struggled quite a bit on the likes of Inferno. And I think for Astralis Talent, they are very good at this map. But again, we got to come back to the conversation that I think we will come to a lot, Ryan, is the level of opponents these two teams are playing against. Astralis Talent, you know, they look great on Inferno. They look great against Gen 1, 777, Undefined for the win, Rune Eaters, Sampi, like they're looking good against teams who Copenhagen Flames wouldn't even think of competing against.
Yeah, this is the thing, quality over quantity, right? That's the argument that we're going to be making through this series. But of course, let's head to the green map. It's Ancient, our first of the three, to see if Copenhagen Flames can take their pick, or if Astralis Talent have something to show for us.
Let's go. Let's get into it. Copenhagen Flames on the T side. I'm actually so excited to watch Farley play. He's someone that I remember whenever I used to interview Astralis at events, he was the only one that wasn't properly media trained and was the most fun to interview because he would just give you anything that you'd ask for, whereas the other players would be like, you know, so tactical of what they said. And he's like, I'm excited to see him back in the server. He's a more passive operator than Regali, so we are going to see a slight change in Copenhagen's style. He doesn't rifle as much as Regali either, so that's definitely going to be an interesting one. But a quick execute onto the A bomb site. A smoke towards CT has faded. A smoke towards Donut will be implemented, but Mr. the ex-Astralis player who's recently come down to the Academy squad, my God, is he off with a storm of 3 kills. No damage even inflicted to the Talent squad just yet. And wow, what a... literally flawless. Literally flawless. No damage taken. Astralis Talent, now that's a way to implement yourself on the server.
Yeah, that's one hell of a way to kickstart your campaign, isn't it? Get into the server, get shooting heads, show what's up. And Astralis Talent, do it as you say, without taking a lick of damage for it. It's a brilliant display of sheer performance. And heading into our second round, well, Copenhagen Flames, they go for a bit of a force buy. One thing that we saw, I remember seeing from them, the moment this map changed, they loved, and I mean loved, a B rush. Like, adored it. So we'll see if more of that happens. Here now, though, it is a bit of a mid-split. It's an A split, I should say. Crystal ready and waiting, though. We'll find a third. And yeah, sure, Mister gets dropped eventually, but a 2v4, Copenhagen Flames recognizing they've got to put it in reverse before they actually get out onto a site.
Atty just cutting him off. This is a really dominant start from Astralis Talent. Also, I remember I was talking to some of the Royals boys last night, and they were making the argument that this actually isn't an academy team really anymore. Like the average age, obviously you have some players who are really young, like obviously Mister's 18, is 20, Altex is 19, but then like Patty's 24, Kristu's 21. They've actually got loads of experience in them. It's very similar to it's very similar to the NIP team, or the Young Ninjas team right now. I think because the whole Academy League is shut down and the average age rule is taken away. I feel like these teams are now actually building rosters with no restrictions, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now in Astralis Talent.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I don't know. It's difficult. It's a weird one. To be fair, how Copenhagen Flames have done so well here in the 2v4, yeah, decent job, fair play to them. Obviously, Crystal's going to stick the defuse. It's an easy landing. Will find themselves a second round on the board, but ultimately, I don't think anyone's going to be too easy for the Copenhagen Flames side. Getting the bomb plant, very important. I think as well, what you were talking about, the whole academy thing, like no age limit, no restrictions on oh, you've got to have 4 players under the age of 20, I don't know, 21, 22. You know, they've got to actually be academy players. With that being gone, I do agree. But then it creates more breathability. With no academy league, I think people need to recognize that, you know, they've got to make their living somehow. If these academy teams can't play in the big events, then, you know, the events, specifically CCT, for example, is where Astralis Talent want to probably put a good roster together. So they can basically pull everything together and just be yeah, done. We can play and compete at tier 2 with a good enough team. That's a good start from Patty though in round 3 against the rifles of Copenhagen Flames, and Borup already neutralized.
They really can't get anything going. This is such a dominant start on their map pick of all things. Let's see if this continues. Rao's just creeping up. He's been spotted, but he didn't spot Paddy out. That's a lot of information for the CT side. over in middle, this mid round is looking already shaky just on the basis of you've lost Borup so early on. And Altex be looking to win this duel out on Farley, and he just does it so quickly. Like, he actually does that so cleanly. That's a really nice first kill there for him in this round. And wow, sorry, these guys are looking really crisp. I don't know, I sound like a broken record, but like, these 3 rounds have been just bam. If they can continue this up, we might see a repeat of the Sangal affair.
Great flashbang. Bird from Sky will find his way back in, but a 2v4 now. Still recognize the numbers game well and truly out of your well and truly out of your favor and out of your hands. Crystal hands with the M4 out into the open, finds the rifleman on the right hand side of Donut, and the man on the left does pick up the bomb. To be fair to him, Rules probably just looking for a way out though, rather than a way back in, and unfortunately Mister's not going to allow it. It is 3-0 Astralis Talent. Early beginnings are looking pretty good here on Ancient.
Another weird buy as well is going to come out for Copenhagen Flames. So this is not going to be a round for them to contest any of this domination just yet. On the face of it, Copenhagen Flames should be winning this series fairly quite easily, to be honest. They shouldn't be, if you look at it on just a bare bones level, Copenhagen Flames have so much experience on their roster. They won, you know, as I was saying, the 4 tournaments basically all in a row. And at the end of last year, like, this is a team that were contesting for literal tier 1. And this year, they haven't quite found that same rhythm. And replacing Regali in Bird from Sky's opinion was the way forward to try to create this more passive roster with Regali. Let's just see if that is going to be the case. This round, though, as I said, it's not going to be the round for it to happen. It's actually just a really clean clear up. Bro gets his first 3 kills in the game. Very nice. 4-0. Also, is it? Well, do you think it'd be like Bro? Or is it like bro?
I don't know.
Because it's definitely got some Danish twang to it, you get me?
I'm trying to hold on, let me Google translate this real quick. Translate.
Because I could hear it being like bro.
Bro. Yeah, definitely. Right, let me quickly go English to Danish. Bro. Oh, it doesn't even bro does not translate the way you'd think.
What is it? Wait, what?
It's bro. Oh my god. Hold on, let's listen. Okay, it's like there's no roll of the R. See, that's the thing. I don't know. I'm gonna go with bro.
Bro, yeah, you know what? He's our bro. He's our homie.
The bro me.
He's the bro me. But this time, Farley is gonna be the frenemy to Christu. The Orpas strike. This time Christu only has a rifle in his hand, so I think that's the first time we've seen any level of success for Copenhagen Flames in this matchup so far. Let's see if they can take this further on the first gun round, because it's a good, nice, I realize mid-round they're isolating angles, that they're forcing Mister and Altex to push ahead of that smoke, and Borup just, that's the easiest 2 kills of his life. Really nice from Copenhagen Flames.
A pretty good spot. Going to start charging in towards the A site. Copenhagen Flames putting Astralis Talent down to 2. Should just be the subsequent exit of this round. Make it 4-1. Give yourselves at least something to work with in the future. But yeah, that is a brilliant display of events, giving Copenhagen Flames their first. Nice mid-round, as you said, just trying to isolate these fights, forcing Astralis Talent either into these engagements, which Copenhagen Flames will win, or away, and just basically like burying them in the back of the sites, and then, you know, a couple of mollies and a couple of flashes will do the job. So yeah, very intelligent CS being played by Copenhagen Flames. They of course find themselves there first. Still more work to be done though, for a map that's quite even, some even argue T-sided. Astralis Talent still off to a brilliant start on the CT side, let's not forget that.
Saving 2 rifles as well is always very nice for the economy. I'm a big fan of that. Like, look at it and it's okay. We got the money. We can go for this unwinnable retake, or you can just save the 2 M4s and you can have a full. You can collect even further money. The Yorp's out for Christu now. I rate the aggression towards the A bomb site there for Astralis in that last round, because they weren't being tested, they weren't being penalized anyway, and they just got a little bit unlucky with literally at the last second. Farley decides to look at A main, or like look towards that angle, and he gets the kill, and they end up getting both of them. And then the mid aggression, it just dealt with really well for Copenhagen Flames. I think Astralis Talent, there wasn't going to be a way. I think they were going to win out those duels, and right now again, a lot of mid aggression. It's going to be an even 1-for-1, but Bird from Sky, that nade doesn't damage him, it damages Farley, but still, the IGL will come away with a lot less HP than you would have wanted.
Certainly, not looking great here. I think doable here. CT side, you know, haven't taken major deductions. They're still in a pretty positive spot. Not going to happen, Farley. Not on my watch, sir. Orb will find Patty. Mr. trades out, though, so the Orb actually cancelled out. Now Astralis Talent can afford to play a little more passive. Reverse all of your resources, back up, and wait for the Copenhagen Flames move. They're the team that have to go next.
Just completely slowing it down. Mr. Jump Peak still identifies that Copenhagen Flames are in middle. And the T's are going to start to approach the A bomb site, but the reactions from the city side are good. You've got Bro coming in close in rotation. Mister's rotated here. He takes a contact, and then Crystal will be able to turn on a sixpence if even needed. And yes, he will be. Bird from Sky gets the trade, but Crystal hasn't been identified. The AWP denies the bomb, and Rouse now in a 1 versus 2. Hasn't got a kill yet so far in this game. 15 seconds. He has to plant it on the A bomb site. Taps the bomb. Bro comes out from Brokey, but no one actually reveals themselves. So Rouse is just going to tap once again. Gets the kill onto Bro, but a lovely, lovely shot through the smoke lands. And Astralis Talent deny a bomb plant. They deny any culmination of 2 rounds. And Copenhagen Flames still, I like genuinely, I would be surprised if Copenhagen Flame... I think like Copenhagen Flames are probably surprised right now. They're like, sorry, what's happening? How are we being dominated this hard?
Surprisingly, also over at 1xBet still saying Copenhagen Flames are the favourites. I think Astralis Talent are off to a great start, considering this is the Flames map pick as well. Not exactly going to be, you know, all reclined and relaxed in your chairs if you're a Copenhagen Flames player. Roll's going to start things off well. A blunder from Crystal, still unchecked from Rawls. Back 10 goes running by. Bird from Sky trades. 5v3. Patty is the rogue man, but the other 2 locked out from CT. And, yeah, this is not going to happen.
Okay, not a bad round. Copenhagen Flames just put pedal to the metal, run it towards the B bomb site. But again, I really like the fact that Astralis Talent are saving here. 2 rifles on an AWP means that they will just about scramble a bite. Actually, is there a world they don't even buy next round? Oh, they're on double eco, I guess. They probably will. But yeah, the AWP being saved over, I think, is the big factor. Christu's had a pretty good start to the game on the rifle. And that last round, especially with the AWP saving the round, we want to see more of that be put out. But a second for the Flames. Especially what we were talking about on Nuke and Overpass today already with the 9 game. You want to... I think they can afford to let a few rounds slip at first because it is a very city-sided map. So if you can maybe even get like 6 rounds, 5 rounds, it's probably going to be enough potentially, even with the changes.
Five to 2. Astralis Talent already a third of the way there. T-side quota. I don't know. What do you think, Freddie? Like, as a realistic result, what do you think like a natural scoreline should be? Because I feel like, you know, your nukes, your overpasses, you're going to say like 10-5s, your 9-6s.
I think, yeah, those are 10-5 to more 11-4s. I think Ancient now, a culmination of people starting to figure out how to play T-side in like the last 6 months, and then like the map being a little bit more T-sided with the changes. I think a 9-6 half is, I think, starting to become a little bit more reasonable. I think, yeah, a 9-6, I think, is a kind of a bog standard one. Whereas, like, an 8-7, where if you get, like, an 8-7 on Nuke or whatever those maps, it's like, oh, this is tragic. An 8-7 on Ancient is salvageable, I will say that. If you have to, like, fight your way back on the T side. I think that's the one difference between Overpass. You can fight your way back on the T side. Not Overpass, on Ancient. What about you?
I'm actually going to say CT side... 6-7 rounds is good enough. I actually think this map is T-sided now.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we're on similar themes. You're just a little bit more, I guess. I'm
on the T-side bandwagon, right?
Yeah, just a little bit further, but the same. We're both on the same theme, and I think I might still be swayed because I am starting to see a lot of games going in that way. But looking at this round now, it's a 4 versus 4. Mister's done really well to isolate the kill into TMB and towards A main. It's giving him loads of space to work with and cutting off one of the primary zones in this retake from the Flames. However, with the utility being good and the flash being good, it seems like the Flames might still hold off. However, Mr. continuing on his charge of domination, leaving just Rouse and Farley all by themselves. A missed AWP shot. Rouse having to dodge the flashbang. The bomb is not smoked. That's the one deficit now for Astralis Talent, and Farley has a clean sight of vision on it. That's the one big kill, and that's the second. A 1 versus 2 clutch for the newcomer. He had a terrific performance against Aurora the other day in his debut, and I'll be looking to replicate it now against the Talent team.
Really well played, to be fair. Should never have got to that position. I feel like Copenhagen Flames should have had a better strangle on that game, but fair play. They get it done. Job's good. Good enough, I should say. You have it. 5-3. T-side starting to earn a little bit more respect, starting to earn a little more space. As I said, I'm a firm believer that this map is T-sided, or at least if it's played correctly, it's T-sided. So I don't know, man. I'm not there just yet. I mean, there's plenty of time for obviously Copenhagen Flames to make their recovery. This round's just an eco, so you're expecting a fourth. But this is the round that I'm most intrigued in, Freddie, because of course this is where the rifles come up for Astralis Talent, and if they lose those, they're gonna start storming ahead here. The T side.
Mac 10 still out on Rouse, signifying that we could potentially see a faster play with him, like not straight off the spawn, but like popping them just like out of nowhere, just a pop towards the A bomb site or B bomb site, not having as much reliance on or like a commitment towards middle, or they might they're heading a lot of people towards A early on, and with the bomb going there, and with TMB and with Rouse actually he's gone through middle by himself. He's just been sent to his grave. He's been sent to his death. So that's a very early advantage for Astralis Talent. They'll take that up and they'll be very happy with it. Christu is being bombarded with flashbangs similar to Mr. But Altex is here on the A anchor, dancing around default box, supported by the aforementioned AWPer. And this round seemed very sloppy from Copenhagen Flames. It seemed very strange that they just committed one of their players to death straight away, tried to go towards the A bomb site. And Astralis Talent, to be fair to them, great rotations. And they just had 3 players there and they just held off magnificently. Farley has had no say in this round. He's been blind for the majority of it. AWP in hand, 1 versus 4, bomb down in no man's land, and he hasn't spotted out anyone. He peeks his corner, just 3 people staring at him.
He knows that there is a player there. Look, you can see him, tags up. Not quite the frag. There's a man on site, Mr. Clearly some miscommunication. I thought Astralis Talent were going to send a couple more in there. Just the leg shot was enough to force the back. Don't get too, into an idea of a 6-4 scoreline just yet, because only a couple of pistol shots away from turning this into a 1 versus 1. Starting to creep his way forward out towards the site, though. Patty playing slow. As soon as Bro goes down, there should be a swing. Now that he's unscoped as well, yeah, I was going to say it's a double swing, and the round is in the history books. Astralis Talent make it 6, and a double AWP saved here for the CT side.
Interesting. Double AWP on Ancient? What, you said 1A and then the other one Roam?
I'd say 1. So I'm not too sure how much you've played the new Ancient, but I think playing the AWP in Temple is ridiculously OP because it's just the crack angle.
Yeah, like you can't deal with it. You can't deal with it. It's actually impossible.
And another thing I'd say personally, AWP works really well if you start 3B, just get him holding down ramp, and maybe go double cave, and then you can like take mid. Maybe you play 4 mid. You start your A player donut. You push 3 mid, 2 cave, or 2 mid, 2 cave. Last player holding the B rush. I don't know. I guess there's ways to go about it. We'll see. There was a PC crash on the side of Astralis Talent, so not too long. There you go. Welcome back. Get the round restart in, and we can move forward with our game. Move forward with our lives. It's 6-4.
Yeah, I think it's just like place one of the AWPs on A extremity, and then either A or B, like one of the extremities, and then just send the masses of your forces somewhere else. I actually quite like that, like play like kind of 4 middle, and we might genuinely see something similar to it. Brian, have you just read this round flawlessly? Okay, no, I was going to say, I was like, no way they just do exactly what you say, because it would have worked, to be fair. And they actually would have taken a lot of space, but now they've taken that space without even having to use that amount of players. The only issue that is that they're gambling over towards the B bomb site with 3 players. A big part of that would be because of how little success the Flames have had over towards A. For Altex, you said how overpowered it was having this AWP in Temple. The only issue, you just counter it by one single smoke. So the bomb site's going to get relinquished as there was no direct player on the site, and the bomb's going to go down in a 5 versus 5 post plant.
Smoke starts to fade. Ultek's vision comes back. Ready to see if he can find something. Crystal finds the tag. It's first blood that goes in favor of Borup. Ultek's and Mr. conjoined double. Patty and Ultek's another. It's 4 kills in favor of Astralis Talent. Just TMB left. 1 versus 3 required, and he'll get dropped as well. Patty's M4 to make it a double. And it is Astralis Talent up to 7. Freddie, they kind of did what I said. They were a little more passive in what they did.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you caught that. It was like a cave lurk smoke. They had 1 player in mid holding elbow, like really aggressively. They had 1 person towards A and then a double B site stack. So they were expecting a B play more than an A play, but they kind of did do the exact like AWP setup where they knew they had to play a little more aggressive with the rifles to try and counteract how passive it would be with the AWPs.
To be fair, really strong. Yeah, like I really liked that round. Overall, that was a really nice default. They read the round quite nicely, but again, it was like they kind of just gambled the wrong side. But then the retake was really genuinely quite good. I can't believe they only lose 2 players in a 5 versus 5 retake. And now, ooh, it's just like they set up to have this quite nice play with Mr. flashing in Patty, but because there's a little bit more mid aggression, Mr. is going to have to fall away. And the Flames, they actually have taken a lot of mid control here. And Bro needs to be careful because Bird from Sky has got himself into quite an advanced position. And look at where the 2 AWPs are. Both AWPs on either... What? Both AWPs are on either bomb site. And Krista just hits a dirty shot to Rouse. Transition and flicks quite nicely through the wall onto his head as he's jump peeking. That's a terrific advantage. Bro's heard Bird from Sky. Mister's just going to give respect over towards Donut. And this gun battle is actually really huge. If Bird from Sky can win it out, it completely opens up space. But the fact that Bros just stayed alive and dropped a smoke, it's going to really tamper with Copenhagen Flames, especially because you've got 2 players on the A bomb side. There's no real way that like Copenhagen Flames can find an easy entrance into anywhere. And if 3 versus 5, they've this whole round, like it had the nice, this round for Copenhagen Flames had a nice underlying tone to it, and it's just gone so wrong because they've just lost all their players over towards the B bomb site. And Patty, you know, like 1 for 1 there, it's more than enough. 25 seconds left. It's just all the information.
Yeah, not an ideal one to be in. East side, 2 versus 2. I mean, it's actually not a bad position. I don't think either of us would have expected Copenhagen Flames to make the recovery quite like they have here. Farley getting dropped. Now it's just down to Borup. 1v2. What has he got in store for us? First frag needs to be an exceptional one. And, well, that's not a bad start. Bro getting dropped. An ideal way to shape this one out. Still got it covered. The other player, yeah, of course he does. Borup, 1 versus 2. Fair play to the big man. Had to do exactly that, and he delivers for the T side. Copenhagen Flames will make it a 5th, only just. Astralis Talent, their money's starting to run thin as well. And, well, I think at this point in time, you kind of have to force because you know you're on an eco in the next. But give it your best go anyway.
Very strange force. You got a A1S or 2-3 pistols, but a really nice salvation of that round. I think,
yeah.
I think, yeah, that round I wouldn't have put down for the Flames to win it, but they do, and that was actually quite respectable. So you were talking about it being a T-side affair. They actually are in a position to quite nicely win out this half because, for instance, as you were saying, like you win this one, you're on an eco, so that's going to be 6. You're going to get 7 basically for free, and then just win 1 gun round. And this is already off to a great start. You had 1 rifle pretty much. That rifle has been taken out of the server, but as I say, that miss just hits an unbelievable 1D. So that is a salvageable weapon. And with the stack over towards the B bomb site, Astralis Talent, they genuinely still could win this round, especially with these pistols playing up close and personal.
Ready for it. See what they can deliver. The work to be done. Still a sight to execute. They haven't actually committed here. 58 seconds left. The orb's in rotation. Crystal finds one. Raw's trade. But again, getting very, very hairy for this east side. Can't expect the world out of them. And to be fair, 2 versus 3. It's not the worst scenario to be in. Bomb plant. That'll put them at ease a little bit. The orb does even more. And, well, now I think it's safe to say it should just be game over. It should just be another. And the fact that they took the force buy, a bit of a gamble. Don't dislike it. Don't hate it. But not going to work out for them there. It is just the save for Patty. 1v3. Copenhagen Flames should be on for 6.
A saved up here would be really nice, but I don't know if he's going to be allowed it. Being hunted down. He's already been tagged. And nope, that's, yeah. Oof. I mean, it isn't going to make that big of a difference. It just means that they're definitely not going to have an AWP before the last round and a half now. So, an eco, as I was saying, 7 for Copenhagen Flames. And Ryan, I'm really impressed by the way they salvaged this. A guaranteed 7th in my books is already like a pretty good, it's a very good T side. But if we're going off your thesis, we're going to be looking at Copenhagen Flames wanting to find an 8th, wanting them to fight, wanting them to win out the half. And already, just on the base of it, to be honest, with Farley coming in, I'm already seeing like a little less explosivity. And is that, however, what Bird from Sky wants? Because he's replaced an explosive AWPer with a fundamental, more passive AWPer. So is that what he wants? Someone that is a little less explosive? Because look at him right now. Like, he's literally at the back just holding spawn.
I don't know. I'm not... I don't... It's hard to say because I don't want to, like, judge in just the first few moments of him being on the roster and be like, well, actually, you know, it's a bit of a downgrade, whatever. Like, I think a lot of people had Regali in their books as one of the most impressive AWPers in Tier 2, right? Like, I don't think a lot of people will argue that he was, as you say, a very explosive, a very capable AWPer.
Rifler as well, for that matter.
Yeah, one thing I will sort of go on the record and say is, let's not forget that, you know, maybe they need a little more experience because Regali went very, very missing in the important games. Like in the big ones, if you look back, he was inconsistent against the better teams. So, change to try and help that? Probably so. Altex, just, yeah, why not, guys? Start things off. 4 kills in half a moment. And, well, look, the banner comes up. It's meant to come up at the start of the round. It's there for the end, mate. It's 8-7. It's Astralis talent. But just about hold on. Mr. 20 and 10. What a brilliant performance from him.
That was I mean, like, he obviously has got a lot of experience. Like, we were talking about experience right there. Yeah. Mr. played, I think, enough time in Astralis where he would have learned quite a lot. Did he play at a LAN with Astralis?
Must have done, right? I don't think they played any online events.
So, Christu actually played a LAN with Astralis. He played the Elisa, right, didn't he? You were casting that, right?
Yes, the Espo.
Yeah, so the Espo one. So he did that. I'm just looking at events for Mr. Mr. played at Espo as well. So I think both him and
yes, because it was when like they were gonna bring in device, but they didn't, and it was when they got rid of config, right?
Yeah. So that's that's actually what is really that's when being in an academy team is actually so like useful. Like you are playing at such a high level. They also he played in like blast events with them, literally against the best players in the world. So you are playing, like, you're getting so much experience from that. And Christu has been shed in that as well alongside that. So you've got a lot of experience getting in the server. But yeah, I really like the point you made about Regali going missing in the bigger games. So from what I see from that is like, and like when we had him on the podcast, he was hyping up Bird from Sky of how much he's been helping him. If I'm Bird from Sky, surely you identify the clear talent that's there and go, let's not think immediate short term and go, okay, bye Regai, let's bring in someone that's like maybe an upgrade for now. Why not think long term? And that's a conversation for after this round, because right now the Strat's talent have gone with the explosive tactic going onto the B bomb site, and my god, if they just mowed down the defense.
Yeah, that is a pretty decent start to your T side. Just run it right out towards the site. You've got 3 kills, 2v4. Not a pretty picture for the CT side. A retake is basically off the cards at this point. I don't quite know what you do if you're Copenhagen Flames. Do you want to stick around? Do you want to try and do the damage? Or is it just worth calling it quits and just give them the round, give them some space? Maybe try and keep some half armor. Don't quite know the solution. Either way, it's not a pretty one. Is the beginning of the end, quite possibly. Astralis talent, a team that I know personally, as you say, with all this experience, they'll know how to work with a scenario like this in terms of momentum. They'll know how to build bridges here. Obviously, it's still a very close game. So when I say it's the beginning of the end, it's just like, you know, hypothetically speaking, there's definitely a chance that Astralis talent can run away with it. But Copenhagen Flames already some big setbacks after losing the pistol.
Yeah, I think you made the great point there of like it's a setback, not necessarily the end of it.
Yes,
But
massive
it's yeah, it's still definitely worrying. They are gonna buy into it though, Ryan. Our favorite. We finally see CCT side properly buy. I think we saw one on Nuke. We finally see CCT side buy into this one. Farley's saving for the AWP. I like that. He's not buying armor. He's just going like a little bit more in his bank account. And Astralis talent. This is a great play. I think running it on the second round and going somewhere fast and like a full execute, just like no lurks, no two ways about it, just straight into the bomb site where there's just fundamentally never going to be enough utility to deal with them. They're just going to do that. TMB, great first kill. Immaculate onto Bro there. However, there's not really too much else he can get done. And the bomb's going to be planted. And I think that is round over. That is double digits for Astralis talent. And if I'm Copenhagen Flames right now, I'm full saving and I'm bringing all these upgraded pistols and armor into the next round and making the third round basically like a force buy again. However, they are still going to force the issue. They're going to go for this rather unwinnable retake. And now they're finally going to make that decision after losing 2 players.
You're dead right, mate. I don't know what the call was there. Like, surely you just don't stick around in those scenarios. You just get out. You just recognize, okay, round's done. Let's not beat around the bush here, guys. Like, we're not winning this retake. It's impossible for us to actually get that one done. Just save the armor, as you say. Like, it doesn't matter. You can bleed the guns into the next. It's just effectively another force buy. Don't kid yourself. You get to keep your money, but now, rather than having 4 deagles saved, it's 2, and rather having 4 lots of Kevlar and 4 lots of utility, it's just going to be 2. Lovely ancient noises in the background. You hearing that, Freddy? Freddy? Hello?
Hello? Sorry, I think, yeah, I can hear that. Yeah, it's like, this map has such lovely ambience. It has such lovely auroras around it. And Copenhagen Flame is probably not enjoying it right now. This is their map pick after all. And Astralis talent, like, what's happening in this tournament? They go through the close qualifier. The only map they've dropped right now is versus Gen 1. They dominate everyone in the main Swiss, like decent teams who have all made it to playoffs. And now they're doing the same against Copenhagen Flames. This team, in my books, was struggling so hard.
Yeah.
And then, like, this?
Crazy. I don't know. Borup. Oh, Borup. Oh, Borup. 3 with an eagle.
Never mind.
Heads are rolling. Bro and Crystal 2v5. And Farley wants none of it. All down to Crystal. Just when you thought Astralis talent were in a good spot, just when you thought they had a chance, they've been absolutely owned. What a Deagle 3K from Borup. Insane. That's the round they needed, Freddy. That's the bit of confidence that they would have required to feel the idea that they'd had a chance back into this game. Bird from Sky closes up shop. That is exceptional from Copenhagen Flames.
That's a great... I've actually seen... I don't know if you've seen it, but have you seen all the Borup clips on Twitter on his deagle on like... I've seen like him hit some dirty shots in pugs. Yeah. And right there is like... he's hit some dirty shots. Very nice indeed. And that's like literally the round where you were saying it's not all out. It's a setback. And that's exactly why. You're 2 rounds away from evening it up. You're against this really low buy. You win this one, you're guaranteed to find double digits and match up the scoreline. And it just needs to see a little bit more from the individuals. I think there's like quite consistent mediocrism right now across team, and then TMB on 4 frags is really pulling them down.
Flawless talent go for a force buy and just an immediate reaction, just shell shocked from what they've been hit by. 1 saved gun, just derailed everything. Well, I'll tell you what, Astralis talent, okay. Yeah, I'm seeing that. There's a way back in. Fair play to them. Bomb plant for the T side. They've done brilliantly. Yet again, another scenario I thought maybe, they're going to get, after losing on the Deagles, get owned instead. They're the team proving their value, and it's just going to be a save from the remaining Copenhagen Flames players. Just as quick as it starts, it ends.
Yep, never mind. All that hypothesis I was theorizing completely out the window. However, the AWP saved over and the AK I think they will be able to get a buyout in the next one, especially considering they won that low buy. You have quite a lot of money left in your back pocket, so they do have that additional support. However, Astralis Talent on 11, that was such a weird buy from them. Like, it was actually such a weird buy, and they, like, it works out really nicely. Great entries. TMB still just failing to get much going in this game.
Yeah, it's a tough watch because, as you say, like, some individuals definitely underperforming in some senses. I don't think, like, it's not the end of the world. It's your map pick though, because you kind of want it to go your way. That's how Counter-Strike works, you know, like in a BO3, tactically winning your map does help. But yeah, we'll see. I think there's still a lot of work to be done. A lot of if buts and maybes here for this T side, because look, straight in towards B, and they're into a stack. Borb's got another. M4 finding success. Farley's AWP there for another closer, and just like that, it's another 2v4. Bro's on his way back in. Bird from Sky gone. Round's not over just yet. Just the numbers disadvantage. Should have spotted out the rifleman. Borb dropping more. It's now just Cristal 1 versus 3. Has got the bomb. Goes in close, swings and finds TMB. Doesn't expect the man on long. Taps the bomb, brings out the AK.
What?
And why is Farley just standing there? He's just been owned. Played at their own ball game. Demolished, destroyed. And that was their way back in, and it has just been removed.
I was looking at this position right now, and I was like, it's actually winnable. But the fact that TMB gets the leg off, and the fact that Farley's coming around the corner, where is he looking? What is he looking at? Why did he? What? Ryan, that is firstly an unreal 1 versus 3. Cristal, we were talking about the experience he's garnered playing in the main team. That was magnificent. Saves the AWP and saves Astralis Talent. Regali. No, sorry, no, not Regali. Farley, how is he missing that? Like, what's he doing? Like, what, like, surely TMB comes over, he got a leg as well. Surely there's information like, look, he's probably low HP, pull out your pistol. I don't understand how he's lost that. Astralis Talent lead by 4, and that's crushing. The Force by Wars continue back and forth once again. But for Copenhagen Flames, this one's even ropier than ever.
Yeah. Struggling to get anything together, aren't they, the lads? Glad to see, because that there is the round for Copenhagen Flames to get back into this game. That's like
completely,
that's
yeah.
So their round to win. Like they did a brilliant job in defending 2v4, then a 1 versus 3. Can't convert. Weak spot found for Astralis Talent. Ultimately, big ask now for the CT side to be able to win out their map pick, especially 4v5, especially when Cristal's AWP yet again opening frag.
Sorry, the amount of utility damage, like, fair enough, that's unreal from Astralis, from Copenhagen Flames. Crystal on 2 HP, swings cave. Like, what's that about? He's so confident. And TMB doing what Farley couldn't. That's a really nice shot onto Patty. Is it enough, though? They're still on the man disadvantage. There's just unconfirmed damage onto Bro and Christo. That's the only issue. It's like, they have 2 low HP players, but they don't know they're low HP, so that could come back to play a factor in. Do they go for a retake, for instance? Do they go for these aggressive pushes? I feel like if they knew 2 players were on the edge of their seat when it came to HP, I think there'd be a difference in the composition of this defense right now. But looking at Copenhagen Flames, they've got everyone over towards the B bomb site. The bomb, however, is going towards A. So just instantaneously, that's round over.
Should just be a save. I'm just questioning in my mind, like, is there actually an opportunity that these guys go for a retake, considering there's no kit between them? If we see instant movement, they'll go for it. Nope, it's a save. And as it should be, to be honest with you, Freddie. Like, I don't think Bird from Sky will be saying to his team, like, this is a winnable round. You just got to think reasonably, you know? And let's be honest, is this scenario winnable? Maybe, if you include the HP, but looking at sort of everything that this side has to offer, it's just too hard to get back into. And there you go. 12 becomes 13. Astralis Talent 3 rounds away from taking what would be the Copenhagen Flames map pick.
Ooh, that's a good kill on the Cristal. But yeah, this is what I mean. Like, the unconfirmed damage, I think that's when it makes a difference. Like, if you go back and watch them and be like, oh, that actually was winnable. No kit. But yeah, I think we've mentioned it's probably not winnable. The AWP being saved over as well. But yeah, 3 rounds. And we're going to be going over to Inferno. Ryan, what's happening?
But it's all from that, like, Cristal 1v3. Like, the fact that he baits out the bomb, and then...
Oh, it was such a good
like,
4v3,
he
man.
doesn't swing because he thinks he's faked it, and then it's like, well, actually, he does kind of, like, show a bit of arm, and because he's legs, like, oh, man. Like, that's such a game to play on yourself mentally that, Astralis Talent at this point, you know, only a few rounds away from making it work. And if they do so... One there's...
Oh, that ambience.
Yummy.
Yummy.
All the time. Hopefully that's another fix with Source 2, right, guys? Right?
Yeah, this is, and like, hopefully, like, not a bad Ancient would be quite a nice fix, but,
oh, yeah, you know what? I was going to tweet it. Ancient, I think, bottom 3 maps for me. I think I said this with you yesterday, right?
Yeah, you said Mirage, Ancient, and then I don't think you, did you give a third?
Overpass, I think. No. Mirage, Ancient, Inferno. That's it. There you go. Bottom 3 maps. Maybe it's hot
I
take,
actually
maybe
quite
it's
like
lukewarm.
Inferno. I think my hot takes I like Inferno.
Hey, man. It's fun to cast. Like, I love casting every map,
Yeah.
just playing it. Like, I cannot stand playing Inferno and
I
Mirage.
think for me, I feel like casting Mirage is quite stale. It's like really repetitive. It's very like I struggle to see a team being innovative on it, and it feels like they're all just playing the exact same game against each other. Yeah, I think some teams are interesting to watch on Mirage. Like Monte is so much fun to watch on Mirage.
Bro, they just don't give one. They just run around and shoot.
It's like it's so much fun. They're just so random. But however, looking at this one, there's been a slight investment in the 2 players that didn't save. So Rouse and TMB just have some upgraded pistols. This is when we need the AWP of Farley to pop off. Like, he's in a position to do so. Unless he gets smoked out, then it's going to get completely nullified. However, this flashbang completely blinds his teammate, and yeah, Farley missing a shot, basically putting Bird from Sky on a pedestal for defeat, and he's going to get smoked off then, but the damage has been done. You've lost one of your 3 rifles. Yes, it's only a FAMAS, but it's still manpower and a rifle out of the server, and the rotations have been a bit skewed now, so you see Farley going down to anchor towards one of the bomb sites, and it's just going to be 2B, 2A. Astralis Talent, they pick a bomb site. I think they're going to win regardless where they go, and they've picked B. Borup is here. We've seen him do magic so far with the Deagle. Can he do that again? He's going to have to.
Borup, what have you got for us? There's the first, Valanda second. Doesn't know the player's far right, so there is a trade. 2v3. Copenhagen Flames. Oh, Farley goes running through a molly, and there's a dink through the cave wall. Patty's going to close out the show on Farley, but it's a 1v2 for the Astralis Talent man. 30 bullets in the mag. Only needs a couple to take him down. TMB, what have you got for us? Can he deliver? No, of course he can't. It's Patty's show. 14-8. This is looking done.
I must say, lovely reposition there from Patty. I love how he played that 1 versus 2. He isolates both fights. The first one between Farley is literally like who hits the shot first. Like that was a straight duel. That second one though, I love it how he distances himself away from the pillar, and he gives him so much space to work with, and he doesn't commit to the angle. Like he's kind of like playing with the idea, and he does find the timing to be fair to him. But I love how he played that. Really nice from Patty. And the Danish youngsters, they're looking good. Are they really about to book themselves a place in the quarterfinals? If so, I'm going to be more than impressed, and I take my hat off. But Regali's definitely sitting there smiling to himself, being like, you replaced me for this, did you?
And that is a brilliant way to start this round off too, isn't it? 4 versus 5, Copenhagen Flames is Orpa. The man in the hot seat right now, delivering at least with the first. It's important advantage together. It's an important advantage to keep. The problem going to be a big requirement here. Side, you've earned it, but now the question is what do you do to keep it? I'm surprised. T side still grouping up towards A, still very much hunched in that direction, which I think in the moment, actually, Dan is double stacked towards long, but they've just left a lot of their resources, you know, elsewhere. There's still a double A stack. There's still a mid play. Like, Copenhagen Flames are pretty clueless as to what Astralis Talent are going to be doing at the end of this round.
Yeah, they're playing such a bog standard default, right? Like they're actually not doing too much, but they do have the advantage, so I guess that works out. We're up with this Molotov, like that denies a bomb plant, so you're denying time. The utility is really good. You've already done loads of damage to Altex. Patty is just burning in the flames and the gun and the firing. So I guess Flames, they had an idea of how they wanted this one to play out, and it is, to be fair, playing out in that manner. But a 2 versus 2, this isn't exactly how they probably would have wanted it, especially because TMB is now at a 1 versus 2. I've been critical of this man's performance so far in this matchup, and he has got the timing onto Patty, but Altex behind this smoke now. In a 1 versus 1, has got an angle. Oh, a missed smoke, an angle, a missed shot, but TMB runs around the corner, and even though he has no kit, he still has time. That round got very close. I like the idea of a retake there. I do like the idea of just a full 5 retake on one of the bomb sites, because the utility, you know, it was positioned nicely. They had it all working out. But then how does it get into a stage where you're relying on your A rotator to win a 1 versus 2? Ryan, they make it work, but it's close.
Just about hold on. A 9th on the board here. Not looking pretty. Not looking pretty one bit. So much more work to be done. Such little opportunity for error. Such little room for error. Astralis Talent find themselves on a pretty weak buy and flashes off. Brilliant bird from Sky will swing. Only for 1 though. Crystal trades.
Ooh.
That's a bit wobbly now, because well, for the CT side, sure, it's a 4v4. Giving up mid, you don't have much information towards B, and yet again, because it was your donut player removed, you kind of have to compensate for that. So an extra rotate's called in.
The rotation's just all over the place right now. Like, you've got 3 players in Candle. What is this from Copenhagen? Like, you're gonna get the kill. Like, okay, awesome, you get the kill, but like you're gonna get the trade anyways. Like, you're committing so many players, I feel like, very unnecessarily. So Astralis Talent, their reaction is so good. Look at where they are. You already have Mr. Close up long, but that's a lovely shot from Farley. That's the consistency we're talking about. 2 versus 3 now, and bro is gonna fall in the same manner. Just 1v1s being taken against the Yorpa, and Altex, who had to get that bomb out of middle, is going to be late to the party. Farley's holding his number, and Farley will dial those digits, close out the round, and Astralis Talent might be showing a little bit of immortality right now.
$14-10. Battling to get over the final hurdle here, gents. Astralis Talent, rethink your opportunity. I'm surprised that maybe there's no timeout at the end of next round. You know, if Astralis Talent hit the buzzer round 26 just when they've got the rifles, yeah, just take 30 seconds. Like, talk about it, guys. Like, what is going wrong? Like, why are we... You know, why are we losing these rounds? Another scenario where I feel like Orp, Farley having good impact, Borup's having a great game. Like, TMB is having a really, really bad performance.
Shocker.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that Orp has just saved the Rifleman's life. The fact that Borup only gets 1 there is impressive. The nade, so well placed. Farley makes it a double. Try and pick up the AK, my friend. Farley will do 1 better. Very nice dismissal from the big green. Current standpoint, Astralis Talent, sure, 2 rounds away, but they're 3 rounds down.
Sorry, where has Farley come from in this game? Like, he was really just mediocre, and then now he's doing seriously well. That tactical pause you were talking about isn't going to come out. And I genuinely think Farley is the difference maker here. I was bashing him, but he's been getting multi-frag after multi-frag after multi-frag. It's not quite sustainable, but it's working out for now. And it could be what gets the momentum going and gushing for the Copenhagen Flames side. 3B, 2 mid early on. Oh, the player's gone away from them. This is not ideal at all for Copenhagen Flames. TMB, the A anchor, started out middle early on to throw some utility, and that could just be his downfall. The bomb is really late, though. The bomb is so far away. However, Crystal, that 1 kill onto Borup actually makes such a big difference. First, it's one of the main scouts to take, and second, because it just slows them down a little bit. Because the bomb was so late, the smokes are fading, and it means the kills are going to come through for the CT side. How is this all fumbled away so quickly? Mr. on an extended flank will finally initiate himself. He clears out CT. Now, the T side, no, all of them are towards Donut, but you've got no smoke. That Molotov isn't a wall. And Mister, he actually does just pick one up, so he can smoke out both Farley and Rouse, and now this round is back to being winnable for the T side.
Oh, look at that. They're thinking about going through. Rawls is considering it. It's like, wait, I can't allow the bomb to get picked up. The Molotov goes in. And now it's a game of cat and mouse. Do you run towards B? Do you send it in and try and go for a rotate, lads? That's way too slow if you are going to commit. Plenty of time for moving Donut to mid. And now it's just bro. 1v2. Farley's 4K on the line. 30 seconds left. The AWP, of course, will find it. And Copenhagen Flames have a 12. A massive throwaway round. A massive opportunity squandered. And now with this current climate, Copenhagen Flames on the up while Astralis' talent, their money, hits rock bottom.
Some comeback this would be. It should never be this close. Realistically, we should never see Copenhagen Flames vying for this comeback. That timeout you were talking about is just being called now. That last round, it wasn't inherently a bad round. I'm trying to figure out why the bomb was so late. That whole round stemmed from the fact they couldn't get the bomb down because the smoke still fade, because the bomb was so far away. It all looked like it was going well. You had Mister on the extended flank. You have Christo who got the kill through the smoke onto Borup. You got a big hitter down. But again, Farley with another 4K. I think he's literally gone in the last 2 rounds. He's gone 4K, 3K, 3K. Like, he has made up for that 1v3 that he squandered, and he's really doing it in bucket loads. Astralis talent, they got to be scared of Farley right now.
Here we go. This round, faster towards straight in A. TMB misses another AWP shot. And look at this, they're pushing another AWP shot miss. Bros opens up the kill feed. Oh, ball! Farley doesn't hit anything. He just waits, tries to light him up.
No.
And now it's a 5 versus 3. And Tech9 A push might just end it all. And Old Tech's tapped out low, has to get a new magazine in Rawls, and so he'll let the man slip by. Problem is, everyone's committed in tempo right now, so the bomb site's given up. The M4 of Bird from Sky can only find a single. The HP of these remaining players combined to about 120. It's so damn low for Astralis talent, but sometimes it's just quantity over quality. Nice first frag from Borup, and a second, but doesn't expect the third. And now it's a Rawls clutch required. Cristal and Patty against the Rifleman.
You could see he was so cautious of that flank through middle or the A bombs or the B bomb site because of Mister for last round. So Astralis talent have been conditioning Copenhagen Flames slightly in this mannerism. Those 5 players in Temple have been deceased, but 2 have got out. Rawls inclining his way forward. He spots out Patty, doesn't land the shot. Still alive. Time is ticking down, and they're going to commit towards the A bomb site. Still just cannot land this shot onto Tech9. Finally will. Has to reload, but gets around the corner in time. Drops a smoke at his feet. Actually completely smokes him off. The bomb being planted, and the spam does not land. Cristal given a lifeline, elevating himself on top of default. This is the play, but he thinks double of it. He doesn't actually know if Rawls is going to be coming from Donut anymore, so I do understand where he's coming from. He goes back towards Big Box.
I'm loving this.
Both players. I am loving this. I think Cristal's really done well here.
Too many angles.
Yeah, so many. And he's just not peeking. The bomb being tapped. Wait, is Christo not going to peek? Okay, he does. I was going to say ice in the veins, but maybe not in this instance. 15-12. That was not the round they anticipated to win. And such a weird... I've never seen a round like that where you have 5 players stuck in tempo, but they make it work. They scrim their way out. And Copenhagen Flames somehow fall to the low by the rush towards the A bomb site, and their money is in shambles.
That's so disappointing to see. As you say, TMB misses 2 very easy AWP shots. And then what? Farley doesn't hit one either. I think everyone's kind of tagged up, but healthy enough to take fights. And I mean, you can't say someone needed to multi-kill, but that was the chance and the opportunity to just mow them all down. Everyone was softened up. Everyone was low. Everyone was ready to take face. Bird from Sky goes close to mid. Bro's shooting his teammate, thinking there's a second man, but Patty's already cleared it. 2 smokes going deep, or 1 molly, I guess, 1 nade. Farley sits in this smoke. There's your first and a second, but Bro and Mr. both finding kills. Cristal with the 4th, and the last. Astralis talent 16-12. They take the Copenhagen Flames map pick in the most surprising of fashions. The comeback could happen, but instead turned on its head, and it will be the young guns. They take the first map, Freddy. And if I'm honest with you, the scoreline, I don't think does it justice, because when Astralis Talent were winning, they were owning the Copenhagen Flames side.
Yeah, their T side, their CT side at the start was really, really good. I was really impressed with how they were conditioning across the map, how their mid rounds are being played out, and then even at the end there, like it was what I was saying, like Rouse was so conditioned for Mr. to come through middle, so they had so many layers of their gameplay, and individually just having a great game as well. Like you got to pin it down to that, and the only reason that game became any closer was because Farley just went 4K, 3K, 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 3K. Like he was literally getting like 20 kills in the last however rounds. So if you have to rely on that for your sole purpose of the win, then you shouldn't be even getting close to 12. But Astralis Talent in the first map of this series in the round of 16 in the CCT Northern Europe Series number 4 playoffs have taken the win on Ancient. Now going on to Inferno after the break. It is their map pick. So theoretically, we could see a 2-0 upset. The Danish derby is not disappointing. Do not go too far because we'll be back very soon after the break.
very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move. One push. One touch. One love. One click. One XBet.
Are you sick of just opening cases? Join the events! At each event you can find special cases from which tokens fall. Tokens are your ticket into a world of unique awards. For tokens, you can buy a skin, premium, or special balance. Try your luck in the skin generator. Also, you can leave your tokens at the token vault, and the more tokens you keep, the better skin you'll get. Add variety to opening cases with Hellcase.
The hunger for glory feeds the desire, the courage to look for a challenge, to feed your ambitions. To reach for greatness. To become the champion of champions.
No Counter-Strike just yet. Stuck with our ugly mugs for a few moments, Freddy, before we head into our second map of our second series. Of course, Copenhagen Flames. They pick Ancient, but Astralis Talent take it 16-12. And so Inferno up next. Of course, this is a big push if Astralis Talent can take their pick. They'll move forward into the quarterfinals 2-0. And that's what we're here to find out as we head, of course, to Inferno. Do believe it's in Italy. So, Bella Ciao and all that stuff. Let's get into it.
I do like a bit of Italy. It's definitely on my list to go visit, and hopefully I'm not going to be in an active war zone if I go there. So I think I should be fine. But Astralis Talent favored in the odds. They take the opponent's map pick. They never actually played this map in the main Swiss. They did play it in the closed qualifier. They played it twice. They won it both times. So it'll be very interesting to see how this one plays out. Mister already getting the better of the IGL, catch them off guard, but a quick trade is there. Borup, who was one of the heroes of map number 1. Is going to continue in that same stride.
Yes, it is indeed from Italy. There you go.
I'll ask you some Italian questions afterwards, because this round right now,
Borup, that was nearly.
He needs to stay alive. He needs to stay alive right now. If he stays alive in this pit, it's actually just taking away so much space from Astralis Talent. And if he just continues doing that all day long, we could be happy. 2 bullets left, and he will just run out. Altec just gets 2 kills as they're coming out from the Moto Smoke. TMB, who really struggled on Ancient, taps the bomb, and they know he's not on it. No kit. He has to try find and isolate his 2 kills very quickly. He has no armor. He has a flashbang, and it doesn't seem like he's going to be getting too much done. Running out of bullets himself, very similar to what Borup was doing, and Patty will isolate that frag. A good start to Inferno for the Talent team. And my god, Copenhagen Flames will definitely want some limoncello after that round.
That was nearly an unreal round from Borup. The fact that they get run down here is impressive. And the fact that there's a double kill from Altec. Look at that. So he finds the man in pit, and then he turns around to the Moto Smoke and blasts his head off there as well. Impressive performance. Astralis Talent taking the pistol. Copenhagen Flames responding kind with a force buy.
I'm really impressed with Altex there. Like, the fact that Copenhagen Flames come through the Motor Smoke was in response to Borup staying alive for so long. But if he stayed alive for literally like 2 seconds more, maybe 3 seconds more, I think the round could have been different. However, that's not what happened. They do isolate the kills successfully, and that force buy you were talking about, this time we don't see any FAMASs. There's no upgraded weaponry of much. There's just pistols and 1 SMG. And Astralis Talent taking good control early towards top banana, but they're not committing here. They're just taking the space away from the flames and trying to bleed out the little utility they have. Double nade towards CT isn't going to hit anyone. Oh, it would have been cool.
Would have been nice. One after another
Woulda,
as
shoulda,
well.
coulda.
Well, right now at least it's pretty relaxed. Still, Astralis Talent taking notes towards B, while Copenhagen Flames gamble towards A. It was a quad stack, and now that they know, well, brackets is clear, guys, they are just going to send the resources back around. So, in my honest opinion, they are taking way too long here, Freddy. Way too long here, Astralis Talent, to get on the B side. It's bought just enough time for these rotates to come in. There's going to be 3 or 4 players waiting on the other side. You can't really afford to go for this if you're Astralis Talent. This is surely it's just suicide into the site.
Yeah, you have one flashbang. Patty is to throw an absolute banger, but he doesn't even throw it. He's holding on to it, but they might just win the gun battles out anyway. Firstly, they will get through. They still have so much more to do. Bird from Sky, the last remaining defender, and Crystal, my god, double with the Galil. And how have they just crumbled so easily? They had to run for a smoke. They ran through with no flashbangs. And in a weird scenario, Astralis Talent make it work. Borop's forced to save. And yeah, Ryan, you were right. You were on the nail. You were on the money, and they somehow lose.
Very interesting. I guess welcome to Counter-Strike is the sensible solution, like the apt answer here. But again, it's like, well, how the hell are we losing that round? Like, surely that's just winnable from the word go. I don't know, mate. I do not know. Couldn't tell you as to how that one's happened, but it has done so. And ultimately now we move into the future, into the next round 3. Scoreline's 2-0. An inexcusable loss there for the Copenhagen Flames. They had a really good setup as well. That's what I don't get. They had 4 players just waiting. But Force Spy not quite going to work out. Yeah, smoke was pretty important. Force Spy doesn't work out. Now, of course, you move into the next really with only one choice, but it is just yet another eco. Just do what you can, keep your USPs, and go into the next with open minds.
I really like this new feature in the HUD of the highlighted players and the nade, the nades as well. It's really clear. It's like really clear now. I really like it. Good on producer, Mr. Gopher Goat. He's outdone himself once again, and Astralis Talent, they should make sure they do this round quite quickly. They need to outdo themselves, and he lines them up. He doesn't get either of them. So yeah, it's a bit expensive. Saved AK and Galil. If I'm Copenhagen Flames, I just bring this into the next round. Like the AK is not too bad. Yeah. You've got what 36 HP combined. You're not gonna win this round. Best case, just get a bit of econ in the bank account.
It is true. I think better kept in the next tier, right? You just keep the AK. No need to run any risks. No need to try and do anything crazy or outrageous or silly that runs your money down the wrong line. Of course, wait a few moments for the bomb to expire. Astralis Talent aren't going to go hunting in this round. Pretty sensible stuff from their part as well. Yeah, even the bomb detonates. Get to see it happen. Life is grand. Round number, what are we in now? 4.
4.
Yeah, 3 plus 0, but I always get confused with this thing. It's like 3 round 4, but it's 3-0. Like, it makes total sense, but I just always forget.
Yeah, it's like round 13, and we've got 3 more rounds left to play, and it's like, huh?
That doesn't add up to 15. Yeah, exactly that.
But then it's like it does, and see, us simpletons are being bested by the most menial activities.
Yeah, exactly, man. Stupid. Anyway, round 4. All set up for the CT side. Copenhagen Flames wanna really take it to them ASAP. Want to try and cut out a lot of that money that they've built up from the previous 3, and that's a great start from Farley. Drops the initial man. Oltek's gone. Backs up. Play the numbers game. We've got the advantage. Now let's do everything we can to keep it.
Barley's starting to get on the server now is always a dangerous feature. He's repositioned, peering towards long, finds Patty with his back turn, goes for seconds. Can anyone stop him? And finally, Cristal does. Well, that's the first multi-frag for Farley in this game. He was outrageously good over on Ancient and sadly couldn't pull his team to success. But in this round, they will find that most indefinitely on the back of the newcomer.
Smoke goes in. Way too deep, bro. I thought he was going to move through it, maybe go for the shift play than the spam. Guess it's whatever now. Don't think there's any arguing. You know, there is a right or wrong play. I guess every player has its own reasons, and now it should just be an easy pickup. I tell you what, though, that is unreal from Cristal. Finding a double, 2v2, retake, get it going again, gents. That's what's going to be happening now. You've got work to be done. Post-plant scenario should never have been involved, should never have even happened. Another one of those.
Super strong as well, Ryan. Look at the primary zone that both Bro and Cristal have claimed. They've got the whole of CT. So much information. They've only got one flashbang left the CT side. There is a smoke on Borup. He's got a kit as well, but yes, go save. My God. Barley is sitting there and gone like, lads, I've done it all. Don't worry. Just, you know, just get 2 more kills. You know, that's all you need to do. 1 for 1, maybe even go 2 for 1, and you'll still be fine. However, Cristal goes on to the B-bomb side, opens it up with a 4K, and my God, are they in the mud now. Copenhagen Flames, yes, they saved the AWP, but dignity is not going to be in their favor. Looking over at Ancient, it was the Cristal versus Farley show. But the one thing I think we got to look at is the fact that Cristal, like, he wasn't actually getting, like, he got a lot of AWP kills, 100%. However, he was doing equally really well with the rifle. You know, that 1 versus 3 rifle, that round right there, rifle. This is, I think, an equity that a lot of AWPers, regardless for that matter, Headtrick, I know he's probably not the best example right now, but it's like Cristal, they're good at using a rifle, and they're really good at using a rifle, and that's, I think, what's going to give them their most selling point. And right there, he just won a round for them because of that.
Really well played from him. 6-2 for Cristal. 0-4 for Bird from Sky. 1-4 for Rawls. Hills, amazing stance right now. Certainly still time to make it work. But 4-0 T side of Astralis talent. Very, very strong starts. We always say, you know, you should never say the GGs until the game is completely over. But the first 4 rounds is you know, it's a showcase. It's a little snippet, but it doesn't paint the picture of the whole game. Sure, Astralis talent off to a good start, but just as quick as Astralis talent build the money, Copenhagen Flames could break it. Not like that, though. Cristal wants more blood, and he'll be giving it a double kill for Cristal. What is going on? He is a machine. Borup finally manages to run him out of gas, and fortunately for him, while he does find one, the smoke, deployed, and now, realistically, they're going to be in a position. Bomb plant conceded, 1 man in pit, but it's an A play. Borup fights his ground for another. No one checks Mister's angle.
What?
And up close in the cubby. Should just be the end of it all now. Flashbang pretty decent. Rawls had to turn, otherwise commit to the fight. Either way, it doesn't go his way. And that's 5-0 Astralis talent. What a brilliant series of events.
Superb. Really impressive, just everything. The individual aim is so good. Cristal, yet again, showing us his worth. And Ryan, so I was interested about that fact I brought up. I was like, you know what? Let me, like, fact check me a second. Okay, so Cristal got 26 kills in Ancient. How many AWP kills do you think he got?
26. How many with the AWP? I'm gonna go 9.
Wow, that was really close. He got 8. Okay, so that's proving that, like, he's so good with a rifle as well.
So good.
Let's head over to Farley. Again, great game. 28 kills. How many with the AWP?
Oh, probably like 15, 16.
22.
Oh, okay. Wait, how many kills did he get that game?
28, and he got 22 with the AWP.
That's so much.
So we're seeing already a very clear indication for someone like Copenhagen Flames. Regali was one of those players that is similar to Cristal. He would do really good damage without the AWP. However, is Farley a little bit dependent on that? Whereas Cristal, it's like Inferno's a great map for him then, because it's especially the T side, it's really hard to AWP. So you have that equity of being like, look, just play with rifle then. Just play with rifle and go kill him like you always do. So this is what I think, in my opinion, That's the new meta of an AWPer. I think a new meta of an AWPer is like anti-JDM, anti-Farley for that instance. It's very like, you should be equally as good with the rifle as you are with the AWP. And I think that's the new meta we're seeing with the likes of Hedrick and Regali that are on like, that are just examples on top of my head.
But from Sky, low HP already. Patty's got him covered. The only B defender overcommits early doors. They start rushing in, plow through the B site. No one stopping them. Why, you may ask? Nobody's there. Nobody's home. T side already reducing Copenhagen Flames down to 4, considering their money situation. I think maybe 1 or 2 players from Astralis Talent should go hunting, but they do need to start building up their money a little bit more, because looking at it right now, take it for face value. And, well, look, you've got 3 M4s, 4 guns, really limited utility. It's very much worth risking your rifle to try and take one of theirs. But looking at the Astralis Talent economy, you know, we've got maybe like, what, 1 more buy behind you, maybe 2, depending on sort of how they play out before you get reset as well. So, you know, you can't jump the gun just yet. And you can see, while they are very eager, I think they understand. You've just got to play it smart.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much 2, especially with like the bombs and the extra money you get. T-side economy is just so, it's always so easy to maintain it, whereas on the C side you see the difficulties and the odds. My God, those are fairly one-sided. That's really one-sided. If you want to go head over to cct.gg/1xbet, make sure to bet responsibly though. If you are gonna use any of the latest in-play offerings, make sure you bet the money you can afford when you're over 18 and in fun and safe environments. Because right now, Copenhagen Flames, they try to gamble stack and they're betting all wrong.
Now they definitely are going to be odds against them in this one, especially when Mr. Oltex finding opening frags like that. Farley able to drop one from under porch as well. Bomb is actually coughed up in the middle of nowhere, so Mr. knowing this, he's going to drop a volley up close. Try and work around it. Rawls has got him covered. 2 versus 3. Orp up close. Crystal missed shot. Draws to 5-7. Not going to work. Bro 1v3 required.
I mean, that's a good start. Farley's been dropped to 1 versus 2 now. Smoke is very awkward because it gives Rouse that little one-way there. But he's going to reposition. Heading over towards long. There's a player in Graveyard and a player in Mini Pit. He actually has the opportunity to identify the 1v1s. He can get the quick kill onto Rouse and then back round the corner and not allow Bird from Sky. The ability right there. Where does he expect Bird from Sky? Bird from Sky yet to show himself. Head pops up and it's so hard to see a CT head there. It's really difficult, especially through the railing, and it doesn't save the orb. Okay, Copenhagen Flames, they win their round. Perfect. They win their first. 1 player alive, no saved orb. Has its negative connotations, Ryan.
Look at the buy here for Copenhagen Flames. Every penny they spend, despite winning a round, goes back into the future, back into the now. Astralis Talent, I mean, same could be said, but at least they've got money behind them to go for another buy. As you said, they've got 2 more investments in them before they go bankrupt. This is their first bullet. And Farley's first is straight into Crystal's chest. 5 versus 4, the AWP duel. I think asking for a little too much maybe out of the T side. Maybe a little too confident from Crystal's end.
Yeah, I think kind of, I'm looking at him right now. I'm like, just keep on the rifle. Back and forth trades for Astralis Talent. Farley getting aggressive. Oh, it's high risk, high reward. He sees Bro throwing the utility. And he will get the kill. Low HP. He was kind of dead, I think. He was dead to rights at one stage. He's got a lot of information going down the whole of Banana. He identifies that no one's there. So it's going to allow Borup and TMB a little bit more security over on this A bomb site. A big gap right now towards CT, and you can see that Farley's a little bit cautious of that. So that's actually why he's going to come back closer in rotation, because he's scared of that. He's holding for CT. And both Altex and Mr. creeping up. There is a crossfire set up right now between the CT side. DMB takes first contact. Borob's been identified. He drops into mini pip. Do they know he's dropped? I'm not too sure. A Molotov being placed, not extinguished by the Molotov. That nade doing a lot of damage. Flash as well. Look at this boy. Mr. Farley's here to play. And this is looking like a really good hole from Copenhagen Flames. They haven't got a kill, but they've just deterred them so much. Are they saving or are they going towards B? What's the play here? They might have the timing. They do have a smoke for CT. Farley might not really be able to do too much this round. Yeah, if they just smoke CT, wait, they've got the site. Oh my god, this is a perfect play. They've got the site. Farley has to try to get close, holding for the peak towards top oranges. He might just get given it by Altex.
Nothing. 2v3, bomb plant. They tried to play the AWP passive towards CT to try and basically catch anyone on the cross. Didn't think about someone smoking it. But I guess to try and play together, the argument can be made. Do you boost? If they do, Altex timing not on his side, expecting a flash. Mister's got one. Now that he sees the boost, the barrel, both the CT, both the CT for Altex. Switches the aim, finds the transfer, and 7 on the board for Astralis Talent. Just as quick as it starts, it ends. Copenhagen Flames back to a shoddy situation, back to a half buy.
Ryan, I'm like, okay, Copenhagen Flames, natural. That I'm seeing a little bit of cracks in the woodwork. Oh my god, are Astralis Talent playing legit CS right now? What, like, what is this?
Like, Altex does really well, and the only reason why like that round works for him is because of the boost play. Like, he gets the information because of the play that's boosted. But even then, like 2v3, Copenhagen Flames, there's no flashbang. Did they have any utility? I didn't quite catch on to. Like, I didn't quite hop onto. But the fact
they did have a flash, I think. They used it.
The fact that they put the one person in coffins to go first and then the double push CT feels a little bit disconnected. And speaking of, Bird from Sky finding a double, 3 players for Astralis Talent low, but the remaining players haven't even budged off of A.
Like, it's also, so you were talking about utility there. Can we go back to the fact that Astralis Talent had like 2 belts of utility at 20 seconds left? Like, that is incredible. The fact that they could double smoke CT, flash CT. No, like, how do you have that much utility left over? Like, they're so methodical with what they're using. Like, what? I'm so impressed right now, Ryan.
That is insane. Great Counter-Strike being played by Astralis. Perfect CS, it feels like. Faultless CS, I should say.
Yeah.
Not perfect. I don't think there's any such thing as perfect CS. But...
It's all going to go downhill now.
There is some faults to the Counter-Strike. There is a few. Exiting Banana, I guess it's a gamble, right? You either had CT and you could run into that, or you run into Banana and into the people there. But unfortunately, it's the latter, and they get punished. But it is indeed a very, very nice round for Astralis Talent. Listen, 8 on T side, Freddie. Brilliant. Spectacular. You know?
I mean, would you be, because you were saying Ancient's a T-sided map, for your opinion. Would you,
this is
like...
CT-sided, if that's what you're
lad, cop on.
Do you think this map is T-sided, Freddie?
It's statistically and fundamentally T-sided.
You're saying statistically this map is T-sided?
Yeah, especially at tier 1. I think to be fair, I will give... Okay, we'll talk about after the round, because right now, Farley is under pressure. Oh my god, he hits the no-scope. Okay, he's been saved. He finally falls the Molotov, but he does do damage before he fades away. Martyrdom there, a little bit from Patty, from the grave. Will trade himself out. Not something you see every... Oh my god, Bird from Sky. Okay, not normally an AWPer. He can't even see, but he still makes it work. And the T side is still going to commit over towards the B bomb site. Christu has a Molotov that he can use to flush Rouse out. However, look at this from Borup. He's got a flash in hand, so as soon as Molotov comes in, firstly, Rules is going to smoke himself out. Secondly, that flash is going to come through. Oh, it doesn't blind anyone, but there has been information that Christau is in that smoke. They're hunting for him as it fades. Christau wins the duel! How is he continuously doing that? TMB now on the late rotation for Banana. Christau on 6 HP will be the first target, and he's in a great position to deal with this. Spots ahead, misses a spray though. He needs to survive and wait for Mr. to come and help him. I love this reposition from Mr. He can't help him, but he's just going to play for himself now, playing on top oranges, and I don't think TMB is going to anticipate this. Smoke towards CT. Evidently, he doesn't. Lumbered spray in and 2 HP just about makes it work. You're playing with my heartstrings.
Fair play, Astralis Talent. What a crazy round of Counter-Strike, Freddie. Crazy game of CS.
Weird.
9-1. Very nicely done. Just to go on the Inferno argument.
Yeah,
really,
we're going back to this for a second.
Last 12 months, it is a dead even. I say dead even. 49.9% of rounds are won on the CT side, and 50.1% of rounds are won on the T side. It is so down the middle. I'm still a believer. Naturally, maybe it is T sided. Do you know what? I'll give it to you, Freddie. Maybe statistically it is. I just suck at the T side. That's why I'm going off. Maybe I'm just hot trash at this game. Nice trade out.
Nah, you're actually not.
Bro, thanks, man. I'd like to hope I wasn't.
Before, I would have said yes, but you know what? You're actually playing good Counter-Strike right now, Ryan. I'll give you that. Like, you actually are playing decent Counter-Strike.
Thanks. Get me on a team.
No worries.
Get me in an advanced team or whatever. Nicely done, Farley. 1v4. No curses here. It's a straightforward one for Astralis talent. 10-1.
My
Ready.
God.
It's continuing.
Sorry, what's happening? Like, this isn't real life. How, like, this Copenhagen Flames were a team that I saw going into this year as being tier 1. I saw them this year going and playing in legit tournaments on LAN and like doing well. In an interview we did with Regali for CCT, he stated that they skipped playing the CCT LAN to qualify for the RMR. They didn't even make it to the closed qualifier, or if they did, I think they literally went 0-3 and they got banged out. Copenhagen Flames have gone into this year and have found nothing but success. They gambled missing out playing a 100k LAN to qualify for the major, and they got nothing in return. They trailed by 9 to, I don't want to sound in a condescending way, but an academy team. A team that have come from the closed qualifiers, and they've literally only dropped 1 map since doing that, and it was their first game against Gen 1.
Patty, opening kill is his. Seconds is Bros.
What?
2 kills on Banana. Such a disconnected push. Copenhagen Flames don't even know how to conduct themselves on this map.
Oh, also going back to the old conversation, I don't want to beat the dead horse, but like I think Inferno, the higher you get up, it becomes a little bit more T-sided.
More T's, agreed.
I think at this level, and I think maybe at the level that Copenhagen Flames are playing at the end of last year, that's when you start to see like an 8-7, 9-6 on the T side not be that outrageous. But I feel like at this level right now for Astralis talent, you don't tend to be seeing like CT winning, like T side winning halves. However, they're about to win 11-1, and I don't think that's got anything to do with the map or anything. They are just playing phenomenal Counter-Strike right now. It's actually just flawless. Like, it's genuinely immaculate. Not perfect, though, because you can't, like, obviously they're, you know, still, like, top 70 in the world, something like that. So it's not flawless.
Yeah.
Top 73, rather.
Got to get the numbers in.
Ryan, do you want to pog off this now? I'm feeling motivated.
Bro, I am. Do you know what the worst thing is, though? Is, like, I always think this, like, I play a disgusting amount of Counter-Strike outside of watching it. Like, I'll have a 6-hour broadcast day.
You do, don't you?
I'll play like 4 pubs afterwards. Like, I will absolutely slaughter the game. The problem is for me, and I always learn this, I'll go and play a game of CS, and I'll think, damn, like, I've just watched Astralis talent do this on Inferno. I'm going to do it. And then I just get gunned down by, like, some absolute noob that doesn't know what they're doing, and, like, are on such a lower wavelength. That, like,
such a lower wave. Clip it, boys. You're all lower wavelengths.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Twitch chat are the real chads. But what, like, I'll just come against someone that it should work against, but because they're just like too blind to the thing that I'm trying to do, it just works, and it's just like, well,
yeah, no, I get that.
Okay.
I try to replicate stuff, and then I realize like it's just actually really hard to do what they do. It make like the more you watch, the more you realize how good they are. And Patty, yeah, like, I can't do that. I can't just run up on Banana and get 2 kills. Rouse there dropping a nade while the Molotov was still up, so there was no one behind the half full. That's a pretty simple mistake right there. Like it's genuinely those small things, especially on Inferno, when as a CT side you have to be getting a lot of utility damage when you're throwing grenades when they literally physically can't be there.
Oh dear.
No.
There's been an execution towards middle. Boros picked up a double. Ultec slips past the molly, gets to the bomb, finds the first. Farley in on Boiler. Oh my god, oh the deagle, my words.
Jesus Christ! I actually thought he was going to win. Like, I genuinely had in my head. I was like, I was like, Crystal. So this round, Crystal kills his teammate, and then there's a 1 versus 3. In my head, that made sense.
The stars aligned. Crystal unlucky. Bro getting lined up in that as well. Just unfortunate, really. And yeah, the Deagle to close the show did get a little bit scary, a little bit hairy, but it's okay.
Scary.
Look, at the end of the day, it's 11-2.
Oh yeah, even if they lose the next 2 rounds, like cool. It's 11-4 at half. Inferno, that's not a like. Regardless of the conversation of TCT time, it's not a one-sided map. It's not a map you see 11-4 scorelines ever. So regardless of anything, this is really impressive. Rouse, though, that is a good start though. It's a really nice opening. That's a good set play to neutralize Bro. And the utility, the counter utility is really good to mean that there's no trade either. And great nade. See, that's what I want to see more. I want to see more damage being inflicted because you necessarily have to. The necessity, that's the word.
Right. Very, very true. Nicely done, Farley. Yeah, cool. Collateral. That's like the most normal thing I think we've seen this game. Fair play to him. 6 shot. Mr. and Oltex. 2 versus 5. Not a pretty picture to be painting. The fact that Copenhagen Flames, the maximum they get is 4. Well, it's not ideal. Pretty sad stuff to see.
It's also like the fact that they're against the gun round next round as well. Like it's like they're going from is the saying fry? Is it the fire to the frying pan? The flame to the frying pan?
I know the fire to the flames.
Fire to the, it's like the whole like you're getting out of the fire here, but then you're going straight back into the frying pan.
Yeah, out of the pan and into the oven. I don't know, mate.
Yeah.
That feels like that should be like a funky idiom. I don't know, Mister.
I don't know.
Finding 1. Okay, rules. His position given up as well. Problem is 5 seconds left. The bomb plant will be stuck. No one swings to deny it. Now they will after it's gone down.
No.
2 versus 3. Don't give him to it. His Astralis talent. Give him an inch. They'll take it a mile. Oltex spotting Borup. Did the information go both ways? He slipped in close. He's going to check out the angle. Surely he does. No! He half clears. And Mr. fights Bird from Sky. It's just TMP left. 2v5 down to 1v1. And Oltex waits towards CT. Waits for a tap of the defuse. Spots him out. And now it's just a game of run and gun. TMB sticking it. More noise made. Oltex knows he's on it again. Oltex, you god. You absolute genius. And of course he'll find the kill afterwards. You absolute legends.
Watching? Are we watching Prime Astralis? That was perfect. That was literally a perfect play of a 1v1. He never overpeaks. He always faces the perfect time. That was magnificent. Farley gets a collateral, and then that isn't even the most wild thing that happened in the round. What's even crazier is with a 2v5 with 5 seconds left, the bomb goes down. There's literally a player on the bomb site, Ryan, when the bomb goes down. It's 5 seconds, and the player who's behind triple doesn't swing. Astralis talent taking a pause, probably just because their team speak has broken a few eardrums.
That's insane.
This is unreal.
This has got to be one of the most funky games of Counter-Strike I think I've ever watched, ever.
I came into today and I looked at the game. I was talking to you about it last night. I literally went, "Oh, the second game's gonna be pretty bad," because I just was like, Copenhagen Flames, you know, they're just gonna win.
Yeah, they should be winning this game. Like we were like, well, 2-0, maybe a 2-1. Like the whole setup of this pre-show was, do you know what? Maybe Astralis talent take a map. You know, that's been the theme of today so far. You know, the boys at Nexus took a map off 9, and we were like, yeah, you know, there's a possibility for it.
Like on Inferno, for instance, now,
yeah. Dreams would I think that heading into round 15 of map 2, Astralis would be 12-2 up on the second map and then have themselves the first. Bro will only find the trade onto Rawls. There's no double kill. There's no multi-frag from the FAMAS. It's Berg from Sky that's looking to defend his might. And with the Deagle towards Pillar, no one's cleared him just yet. He will swing out, and he does find good damage. There's the first from Berg from Sky. A lot more required, trying to find a second. Borup goes pushing through. Mister will trade out. 2 versus 3. The Deagle still tucked and they know that that's the next weapon to clear. But in towards the CT smoke, Crystal just shifts in, and he finds the second, turns towards Banana, TMB's next, and his head taken off his shoulders as well. Crystal's an animal, 13-2, Astralis talent, another 2vx, this side 2v4, and they're 3 rounds away from locking out the flames. What the hell is this game?
It was a 2v4. Ryan, that was a 2v4. Also, yeah, like, Rao's hit, or, yeah, Rao should be getting one hit. Like, look at the flashbangs. They're so good. It's a 2 versus 4, and they don't make it work. The flashbangs and the constant abrasion from Copenhagen Flames was genuinely good. They played that round well. They kept on adding pressure. The rotations were there. It was a good round. And Copenhagen Flames don't make it work. Magnificent from the talent team. I will say, entry pathing wasn't even that great. Honest entry routing. Oh my god, Bird from Sky. Okay, fair enough. Unlucky. That's the big brain from, that's God from Sky right there. You can't test him. And Crystal, though, he will put it back to a 4 versus 4. And the T side, it's just flawless. Oh, they are so clinical. Borop's throwing the second flashbang, and everyone's dead. Brian, there's no chance. This is unfair. Is it the right way round the labels? Are we watching Copenhagen Flames win? They're so clinical. They're so clean. The fundamentals, the crossfires, everything is aligning for them. They are so confident, and they're showing.
No words. Absolutely no words. I don't know what to say, Freddy. I really don't.
I'm speechless. This doesn't actually feel real. I don't say it's like, I see crazy games, yada, yada, yada. This is maybe one of the craziest games I've seen in literal weeks.
Crazy. 2vx's after 2vx's. Missed. Let's see what he does to hold on. Only the one, so it's actually a decent trade-off. Copenhagen Flames 4v2, or 4v3 rather. A lot of these players low, definitely doable. Bomb plant means got to get a move on here, Astralis. Let's see what you've got in store for us, the talent boys.
No kit. They do have the weaponry, though. That is the one advantage.
Oh, it's a save.
I think that, like, the context of the weaponry is why I'm saying, like, yeah, look, probably just save. You have 3 A1Ss. You can have a pretty much a better buy than Copenhagen Flames next round. There's no need to force the issue here. You're up 14-2. Why be silly? Why go for an unwinnable retake? You got to be able to count your losses. And also, look at this. Copenhagen Flames, they're going into the meat grinder. They're going to die. None of them are going to save. They're all dead.
Win the round, but lose your guns. A Borat 1v3 clutch, not quite.
That's actually huge, because look at the economy from Copenhagen Flames now. Bird from Sky 3.8 across the board. Look over Astralis talent. Yeah, they're gonna have 2 players on SMGs, but then 3 with A1Ss.
Outrageous. Outrageous. 14-3. Still 2 more to go here for the CT side. It's weird to think that the buy is actually very similar, considering it was a save. They lost everyone. Absolutely everyone. Heading into the next. Look at the nade damage done early. Scores so damn highly. Nice shot from TMB. Always a trade. Crystal looking for more.
Okay.
And TMB finding a double. Very nice accuracy with the AK. An important advantage gained.
That's also the 2 A1Ss. There's 3 saved over. That's 2 already out. So that's a big thing to look at. Astralis talent going over towards, well, it's actually rotated over towards the A bomb site. And Copenhagen Flames, okay, they're breaking through the woodwork a little bit now. That was a nice round. They get 2 kills towards A. They draw the rotations towards the A bomb site, and then they go towards the B bomb site where only Patty is there to defend. Mister is going to go save one of those 2 A1Ss and join up with Altex in the pursuit of saving a rifle. Are they going to be able to? This is a big thing we want to look at, because look at how close the rotations are. Look at how close the majority of the T side are already to this bomb site. They are adamant they're not going to let this happen. Oh, it doesn't matter. You know, it actually doesn't matter, because, like, they're just going to die anyways.
Don't go hunting here, gents. All right, rolls will, and he will actually find a shot onto Altex. Well, he goes in.
Is this worth it, though?
Yeah, I think at this point it's just a cut-off. Like, why are we risking an AK? Why are we risking an AK? Mister's not even going to pick it up. He's like, I'll take the M4. No worries, mate.
Well, he's scared that, he's probably scared that Farley's, like, close, you know?
Yeah, maybe. Just wanted to play tough. But Who knows? Who knows? That is tough watch again because Astralis talent, yeah, they lose the round, but it feels like in some senses they just win because the damage is just so good to a T side that need to keep their money. Bit of a dogfight.
Farley went from playing top 4 at IEM Cologne with Astralis to losing to the Astralis talent team.
I mean, when you put it like that does sound a bit outrageous.
That sounds pretty bad, right? Like, I know it's a bit harsh and you kind of add, like, there's not much context in there, like, obviously a new team and everything, but like, on a pure individual level, and this is what I was saying at the start of the game, and I will stand by it because it is true, Astralis talent are fundamentally lower level in heavy quotations players, and it comes from the tournaments they play in. It comes in from the lack of experience. The age is a big part. The average age is pretty young. You've got 2 players, I think, like Christo and Patty are a little bit older, like 21, 24, but the other 3 are 18 and 19. And like Copenhagen Flames, the experience they've got playing, and right now the level of opponents they tend to play is much, much higher than... Wait, what? Does Rouse just kill his teammate? Okay, yeah. I was going to say, yeah, but the level of opponents Astralis talent play are so much lower. Like Copenhagen Flames, for instance, Farley's debut was against Aurora, and he popped off. He had a really good game. Aurora, one of potentially the up-and-coming best teams in the world. So you've got that instant level of just differentiation. However, how is this going so wrong? And it's not because, like... it's not because Astralis talent are getting lucky and Copenhagen Flames are playing bad. There might be an element of the Flames playing badly, but we're sitting here going, look, Astralis talent are playing legit Counter-Strike. They're hitting all of their shots. They're reading the game perfectly. You can never take that away from them, ever. Like, why are you hunting?
I don't know. They'll go for it again. Mister punishes the burst walls. They test him. Everyone's gone.
Happening?
Copenhagen Flames just love the hunt. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Because look at this round now, Ryan. You've got a buyback in for Astralis talent. Copenhagen Flames they have barely any money because they've kept 1 player alive and they're null. Theoretically, they lose this. They're looking down the barrel of losing map 2, losing the series, and being eliminated in the round of 16, and they'll have like literally 1,400 to work with.
Fair, Farley's having a great game, but
he's trying his best. He is trying his best.
Like,
he's had a great series.
Everyone will very quickly make the comparison. Oh, Regali's gone. Like Regali would have won this game. Like I don't think it's actually a skill issue between the two. It's genuinely just Astralis talent are playing unreal CS. Mister, I might just be Mister's biggest fan at this point. Quite honestly,
I think,
Freddie.
honestly, I'm backing Christo. I don't know why, but I'm in love with him.
I just love the CS that's being played right now for Astralis talent.
Don't love that.
Yeah.
Forget
we close your eyes for that. Didn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know what you're on about, Ryan. What peak middle? You know you know the joke where it's like, oh, the older brother plays on the computer.
Yeah.
So Astralis are playing. They took over. That's obviously a joke, guys. That's obviously a joke. But yeah, I found that funny in my head.
Sorry, my big bro Blame F is currently playing on my PC.
Why do you think I'm not AWPing? Blame F's on my PC.
Yeah. You guys go A, I'll go B. I'm joking, I love Blame F. The whole bait meme is just...
have you actually seen the stats though? It's
yeah, like he doesn't even bait that much, does he? It's like actually
it's like good baiting, but his eco frags, it's like per round in tier 1, he has like 1.81 eco frags per round, and the next below him is 1.31, which is Apex, which is a lot of a drop off. I know that might sound nothing. That might mean nothing to people, but like it's a significant drop off. Like he legit gets so many eco frags. However, Altex just outplayed them so hard. He's behind Borup. He's gonna get the kill. However, Rouse has got past. That might be a downfall. The fact that Rouse has got through, it just all comes down to can the B bomb site players make it work?
20 seconds left, ready. They've got to get a move on. Patty, oh, into the meat grinder.
Never mind.
There's a man Swift, there's a man towards CT. The rest of the forces are gone. 10 seconds for Alls to make a move to find 4 in a bomb plant in this time. It is impossible. He knows it just as well as we do. 15-5. Map and series point. Astralis talent might embarrass Copenhagen Flames in their own backyard.
As I said, 1,400 for the last round. This is the last round of their tournament. There is simply no way they win this. They are struggling to do it when they had everything to because that last round, to be fair, they took way too long. They had the play and it just took far too long. They got a stroke of luck that they allowed Rouse to get through behind them. But right now, Copenhagen Flames, with not even armor on their IGL, has to win 10 in a row flawlessly to push it to overtime, and they still have to go to a third map.
Pressed out, opening things up with the AWP. 10 rounds consecutively, but they might just fall at the first. Great swing from Bro, double with the MP9, Bird from Sky Rolls, 2v5. And I think you know just as well as we do, game is over. Just a matter of time until the remaining pistols walk into their fate. Bird from Sky trying to creep up short. It's a brilliant flashbang. Ultex has him covered, and it is just Rolls left. 1v5, do as you do. But this game, this series, Copenhagen Flames' life here in this tournament, it's over. 16-5. Very well played to the Astralis talent, boys. Listen, map 1 was close, but they definitely deserved it. They played a great game of Counter-Strike. They knew what they were doing, and they managed to make things work when they did, and all the pieces just fit together. But on Inferno, a whole different breed. This map just looked in control from beginning to end. You just couldn't stop them. And this is it. Game over. Astralis talent, 16-5 here on map 2. A win on Ancient guarantees 2-0, guarantees top 8, and guarantees more life here in CCT. It is, of course, the playoff stage. It's the best of the lot, and they get their chance at fighting once more. A game like Copenhagen Flames was never going to be easy, but they made it look incredible, Freddie.
Okay, so this is the second CCT that Astralis talent have played. The first one was at the end of last year in the Central Europe Series 4 closed qualifiers. They didn't make it out. They didn't make it out of the closed qualifiers. They've come into this year. They didn't make it out of the EDC closed qualifiers, and they've been doing quite poorly overall. They come through in the closed qualifiers of the Northern Europe Series number 4, this one. They go 3-0 in groups. They beat 3 teams that all made it through to playoffs. They beat Sangao 16-3 on their map pick of Overpass. They come into playoffs, and people were there going, you know what? You guys have done well. Nice run. Impressive. You know, you've come this far. A pat on the back, shake each other's hand. Grand job. They have literally got to a stage where even Astralis couldn't get to in some instances. They've beaten Copenhagen Flames, a team that were beating Astralis quite consistently at the end of last year, and they do it in one of the most dominant fashions I've seen in ages. Map 1, I agree. It was close, they deserve it. Map 2, they played lights out Counter-Strike, and there was zero answer to them. 73rd in the world, an average age of just over 21, experience wavering up and down all across the team. I am excited to see where these guys go next.
100%. They play the winner of our next matchup, Honoris versus Sinners. That should be starting in, I think, what, like an hour from now? So maybe pre-show in like 45 minutes. Gives you plenty of time, you know. Go and get some food in you. Go and get the snacks. Go and get the water. Sit down at your desk and get ready for another banging BO3. It's an exciting one up next, but it's Astralis talent, our 7th team through, or our 6th team through to the quarterfinal slot. Who's going to be joining them in that quarterfinal matchup? We'll find out in a few moments. Don't go anywhere. We're back with that third game up next.